What will an ideal educational pathway of a student in 2026 look like? An ideal educational pathway of a student in 2026. The ideal pathway is going to be bachelor's degrees and vocational schools running concurrently with high school. Let's back up for just a moment. The Department of Education is a new failed experiment of the last 44 years. Okay? It's not like it's always been around and we're just trying to alter things now. That is the failed experiment, not what the substance that we know from history. From thousands of years, we know how to educate for a prosperous society. What we're doing today does not work. The answer is not more money. The answer is not even better trained teachers. The problem is it fundamentally has to be renewed. It has to be transformed. And so starting even with the hours in which we go to school, we take the first 18 years of every single American's life. And we have deemed that necessary. In times past, the Americans have given the federal government the right to mandate that all Americans must be educated, and go to school. So we take the first 18 years. The problem is we have extended that another 10, 12 years with societal expectations, and then with the great scam of the student loans and even really college in many respects. Look, it probably 15, 17 years ago when they started offering courses, bachelor's degrees in topics that there's never been a single job in. How in the world, what are you doing? That's not preparing people for the future or to generate an income. You're not even helping the GDP of the United States. You're intentionally creating dependency, not independence. And that's what built this nation. The ingenuity, the creativity, the innovation, the railroad, the trains, the steam engine, the airplanes, new transportation, manufacturing, the assembly line, automobiles. Those innovations don't come from the way we're doing things today. And so the way it will look in 2026 with Roberts as president is we will have bachelor's degrees in vocational schools running concurrently with the high school years. Now, high school will be in the morning. The school day will likely be extended till 5 p.m. And then they would be going to school after that in the afternoon to vocationally or trades or their bachelor's degrees. And we'll have parameters that the bachelor's degrees have to be in subjects that will serve the students in earning an income that are known industries and industries of the future, such as energy, artificial intelligence, physics, mathematics, engineering, technology, cybersecurity. These are things that will be with us for the remainder of our life on planet Earth. And so we need to educate people, our children and our youth, in this area because they'll always be able to earn a living. Now, we also naturally would promote entrepreneurship because that puts the power in their hands. They're not beholden to a recruiter or to a boss somewhere who maybe they'll hire you if they like you or don't like you. In the entrepreneurship world, you get to pick yourself. You get to pick you. If you want to start the business, you get to start the business. If you've got an idea, you got a product idea, you get to put it out in the marketplace and see if it's well received or not. And if it's not, tweak it or abandon it and start again and take off with the next idea. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And at some point, you'll find and be really in tune with what the market wants. And then you'll achieve great success. But the ideal 2026 school, with going to high school in the morning and going to college in the afternoon and extending that school day, do you understand how much that helps American families? Because right now, people talk about women pay inequality and things of that nature. Many of them choose not to take some of the higher paying jobs because there is a higher expectation that comes with those. They want you to put job first, not family first. They want you to put your career first. Your conference calls, your Zooms. They want you to put your work ahead of your family. And so many opt not to do that. which means they end up earning less or aren't in the positions which they are capable of being in because they chose to take a different path and do a little bit of both. Well, by extending the school day till 5, that adds a couple of hours where many moms and fathers who are the ones doing it are able to work guilt-free because their children are getting much better educated than what they're getting right now. And they're able to take higher paying, better jobs that meet in their skill set. So I think it solves a number of problems, both at home and it solves the educational problem. But I'll tell you what else it solves. Teen pregnancy will dramatically decrease. Teen drug use will dramatically decrease. And teen suicide will dramatically decrease. Did you know the vast majority of teen pregnancy, teen drug use, and teen suicides happen between 2:30 and 5:30 p.m. until mom or dad get home? That is when this is happening. And it's just a structural problem in America. Yes, we have family breakdowns, but we are contributing to it just in the sheer nature of the timing of the school day and the workday. See, the workday used to end at 3. So I understand where things used to be, but the workplace in commerce has evolved. School has not. It's very, very slow to transform itself or reinvent itself, but it is past time. This is the answer for education. I appreciate all the teachers who well-meaningly go strike for more money, or the unions that want more of this or that, tools to educate in the classroom and so forth. I appreciate that. My mother is a high school English teacher. My father is the administrator of a K-3 through 12 grade school and has been for decades. I understand this so much better than you think. We know what America needs at this time. I understand the educational world. We started Roland College in Africa. We graduated 2,451 students last year. In the county of Vihiga County, which is the state of Vihiga in Kenya, it was the largest non-political gathering. Our graduation was the largest non-political gathering in their history. So I understand education. I understand where things are in the world right now and where they're going. And by the way, student loans, I'm not going to forgive your student loans. What I will do is pay them off, negotiate them and pay them off. And we will use the endowments of the public universities to do it. Most of that was public funds that they kept taking our money that the federal government gave them, plus kept raising the rates on you because they knew we would backstop these with the federal loans. And so they've been double dipping for so many years. And then we'll take their dormitories, which are no longer necessary because we don't need to have all this duplication of college campuses because we're using our school buildings that we're already paying for once with high schools. And then we'll be able to turn those dormitories into veterans housing and long-term mental health housing. This is how you solve America's problems, ladies and gentlemen, but it takes ingenuity. It takes creative thinking. These are not difficult things. These are proactive American things that will make your life and my life better. It lets your neighbors and those who are more vulnerable and worse off than we are, it gives them the help and the resources that they need. It allows the places that you live to be cleaner and safer. It gives more opportunities for you and your children. Who can argue with healthy children? Who can argue with bright students and a future and a path forward that they can be confident in? Do you know why when most youth are the most depressed? It's between the ages of 16 and 23. And studies show that it is because we are designed to start being productive in those years. That's why many state laws allow people at either 15 or 16 years old to take a job. And then there's certain jobs that are obviously reserved for 18 and above. That is when we are innately designed to start really being productive. And when we hold that, when we rob our children of being productive and say, no, don't go be productive. Instead, go through this man-made little system we've made where you go to school for another, cram 6 years into a 4-year degree into 6 years, and then take a few years to travel the world and find yourself. And you're 28 and 30 years old. Now you got to get the real job. And they are depressed because that is not what we are meant to do. And America has suffered for it. Everyone's having to talk about Social Security and the future of the viability of funding Social Security. And they're having to talk about the future of Medicare and social services of all kinds. Well, we created the problem. And the problem is not to, the answer is not to cut that. The answer is to fix this. And that's what I will do as president. So that's how I see the education. By the way, when you add 12 more years of productivity per person in the United States, imagine how we will have every service we need fully funded. And we have healthy children that are not depressed because they are increasing during their best years. They're being productive and they're earning and they're growing in beautiful ways. We will have a renewal in America once again. Okay, third question.